Well, guys, welcome to our blab tonight, and welcome to our blab show, Turning Goals into Action Steps. I'm Dr. John Bennett. I'm so excited about tonight's blab. I have a very special guest with me tonight, Daphne Tennant. Hi, Daphne. Can you wave to everybody?
Hey.
How you doing? And she's joined with her mom, Tara, tonight. And Daphne has this wonderful story she's going to tell us tonight, and I'm so proud of this little girl for taking on such a big mission. So, hey, Daphne, if you would, why don't you just introduce yourself to some of our followers?
All right. Well, as you said, I'm Daphne Tennant. I'm 11 years old. I go to Quabatel Old Middle School. I'm in the 6th grade, and in my spare time, I like to read. I'm a bit of a bookworm.
You're a bookworm. What kind of stuff do you like to read, Daphne?
Well, I'm mainly into like global history, world history, mysteries.
Wow, that's incredible. So can you tell me a book that you're reading right now? Do you have any books that you're reading currently?
Well, one is called Ruby in the Smoke, and it's about this girl who is lost in Victorian London, and she is trying to find her way back to her father.
Awesome. Pretty exciting book.
Yes.
Awesome.
So far.
Good deal. Well, listen, as I scheduled this and talked to you a little bit about the mission that you're on here, I did a little homework and research myself. And so I looked up some statistics about Ethiopia, and I was quite amazed. I mean, you really opened my eyes to some things that I didn't really know. You know, preparing tonight, some of the stats that I saw, it's just under half the population has access to improved water supply. And they say that only about 21% of the population has access to adequate sanitation services. It also went on to say in rural Ethiopia, as in other places in Africa, women and children will walk up to 6 hours to collect water, just to get water. And they were talking about the jugs that the women carry or the children carry back, that they weigh up to 40 pounds. And you know, the amazing thing, oftentimes they said the little kids will stay back in the village while the mom and the older children actually have to go to collect water. And the water that they're collecting, you know, in the last 20 years, it said Ethiopia has experienced some very difficult recurring droughts, followed by food shortages and famines. And so, I mean, it really is a horrible situation, and we're quite blessed in this country having what we have. And when you compare it to some of the things that go on around the world, it's pretty amazing. So what we're going to talk about tonight is kind of the mission that you took on here and how you're doing that. And everyone joining us, just to give you some blab rules on the right-hand side, if you have any questions, feel free on the right-hand side of that screen to type it in or send Daphne a message if you'd like. And if you enjoy what she does, make sure you hit her prop handles up there so we can give accolades to what's happening going on. There we go. Props galore, props galore. Whoop, whoop, Daphne. People liking you already. So you told us a little bit about where you went to school and your free time and stuff. Tell me how this whole concept got started.
Well, it started in the Mason-Dixon Elementary School lunch line, actually. The girl behind me said, "Hurry up, I'm starving out here." And I turned to her and I said, "You really shouldn't say that, because in parts of the world, there are kids our age who really are." And my friend Brianna Wagner, who was standing in front of me, said, "You know, Daphne, that's a really good point. I bet that there is a way that us two can help them." And so for the rest of that day at lunch, we sort of talked about how we knew we wanted to help people, we just didn't know how. And in this summer, last summer, is when I really started to get into it. And that is where I found the website for Heifer International and a project that they're doing called the Heifer Project, where they actually drill wells in third world countries and send cattle and rabbits and things over there.
All kinds of farm animals.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. And that was what, Daphne? What was the name of that particular organization?
Heifer International.
Heifer International. I'm going to put it up there so people can go to it if they'd like. That's awesome. So tell me, you said you had friends, you know, and I Am Daily Choices commented there. It's about relationships and friendships that can really help you reach your goals. You know, you can only go so high by yourself. And it's amazing to me that in 5th grade you realize that, and you begin to talk to your friends and say, okay, how can we help this situation? So we found Heifer International, and then what was the next step? What happened from there?
Well, another.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, after that, I kept that one in mind, and then I found another website, and it was called World Vision, and they sponsor third world countries and children and their families that live there that are in need of assistance, and but that was just helping one person or one family, and I felt the need to do more. And so we decided to go with the Heifer International Heifer Project, and we are doing what's called the Basic Necessities Package, which is seeds for a farm, because as food is, as you said, very in limited supply there, and very few people there have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And also in the Basic Necessities Package, there is, we'll be sending honeybees there to help the farm to flourish during harvest.
Very
as
nice.
well as the water wells that we're doing.
Very nice. And so the water wells that we're talking about, what's your goal with the water wells?
Well, we are looking to sponsor the building of 5 of them, along with sending 5 of the basic necessity packages is there, which will cost about $1,000 each.
Okay.
And we're looking to do that 5 times before Christmas, actually.
Before Christmas of this year. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the 5 wells that are going to be drilled, are they all in the same villages, or are they going to be in 5 different villages?
5 different villages.
Wow. That's incredible. And so have you always had this need to help other people? Have you always been drawn to help other people?
To be quite honest, no. I was never really drawn to assisting others in need. It wasn't until we really started to get into this project that I really started helping. I mean, most 11-year-olds play on Xboxes or like go fishing and stuff. They don't really think about, kids on the other side of the world starving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly correct. So let me ask you a question. Since you've got into helping other people, what kind of joy and happiness has that brought to you?
Well, the helpful support that we've been getting is just overwhelming. So many people that I thought would just like say, okay, she's doing that, good job. They are donating. Lots of people are very supportive of what we're doing.
That's awesome, Daphne. You know, one of the things that I try to teach people is there's so many great causes out there, and there's different ways to serve. Sometimes we can go and serve in person, and other times we can't, but we can always donate, or we can always speak with our money and where we send our money and things like that. I just think that's incredible that you do that. So why do you feel water is so important? Of course, we talked about some of the statistic or what's going on, and how important do you feel water is in our life?
Well, water is one of the most needed essentials for human life, and water is one thing that is most people in America here take for granted. All that we have. Yeah. And they don't have the privileges that we do.
Yeah. You know, as I was reading some of that, Daphne, it was talking about some of the water sources that the people in Ethiopia would actually get their water from. And it was ponds that were stagnant. It was ponds that they shared with livestock. So the livestock might even be down in there bathing. And of course, we know with stagnant water, you get mosquitoes and bugs and all types of disease processes. And it also said that because of the lack of some of the water, that hygiene is a big issue. So that sometimes kids can't bathe, and sometimes people can't bathe, and as a result of that, we see a lot of problems with eczema and skin problems and things like that. So we know in our office as a healthcare provider that your body is up to 70% water. Isn't that crazy? If you stop and think about that, and so you're, as you said before, you need that water in your system to make sure those cells stay nice and healthy and the body can work the way it can. So I just think it's awesome that you kind of caught on to that. What have you talked about early on that one of your friends kind of, you had a discussion. What are your other friends saying about what it is that you're doing?
They're all being very supportive. Like some of them have even donated. And a few of the girls have, they've just walked up to me in the mornings and saying, here, like, I got this out of the coin jar at home, and it's a baggie full of all these different coins. Or they'll maybe say, here's 75 cents that I had left over from lunch, and will you accept it? And it's just, it warms my heart to know that I'm making a difference in how they are feeling about this.
That's incredible. Hey, Mom, to listen to her talk, it's just so hard to believe I'm sitting here talking to a fifth grader. It just amazes me. It has to make you so proud as a parent.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely been gratifying just to see her, come out of her shell and really take a hold of a cause and just go with it. She hasn't seen an obstacle yet. She just sees it as part of the journey, and she just keeps marching forward.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Daphne, I have to ask you a question. Maybe I should have done this from the beginning. How did this Miss Green Hat come about?
I've actually had this hat since I was 4 years old, and it's been a very huge part of me. And what better way to recognize my project than with something that everyone knows me by.
Yeah. So I know a lot of the your fellow classmates and people you go to school with know you because of your green hat, and they're always talking about Daphne's green hat. And I can remember when you were little, we were talking about how, I wonder when there'll ever come a time when she'll get rid of her green hat. And it amazes me how this green hat turned into something this cool. It's really awesome. So let me ask you, as a leadership guy, often I tell people that sometimes you've got to let go of things that are good to grab hold of something great. And so for us to get from one place to another place, we have to make sacrifices. What kind of things have you had to give up? How much of your time has it taken? Are there things that you've given up to follow this mission and journey?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I actually was in cross country. I ran cross country with some of my friends. And one day we had a big meet in Cameron, but also I had a speaking engagement at a festival. And so I had to miss the meet completely to be able to be at the engagement on time and be able to stay there the entire time.
Okay.
And another thing, I have not always been a very huge public speaker. Whenever we first started this project, I was very shy. I really didn't like public speaking, and I was very quiet about it, but it's getting better.
Well, I tell you what, kiddo, you're doing a heck of a job of it right now. You seem pretty relaxed in front of the camera, to tell you the truth. You're absolutely incredible. Jessica Phillips on there says you're amazing. Isn't she, Jessica? This is really pretty cool. So now let me ask you a question. So we've started this process. We're raising money, and our goal's $5,000. How close are we to that goal right now?
We have actually raised over $4,200.
Wow.
Which is a lot closer than I thought we would be by now.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So we have 800 to go to hit our goal. And I was on your site, Miss Green Hat. I'll post it here in a second, where you can actually kind of watch that thermometer and watch as these numbers are coming in. I think that's pretty amazing there. Let me ask you a question. How will you track the results, or how will you follow the results to know that you've helped these villages? Is there a way that you can watch that as this proceeds and takes off?
Well, after we get all of the money donated and collected, we are actually going to fly to Arkansas, which is the base for the heifer project for Heifer International, and so we are going to be able to hand and deliver the money in person. And we are hoping that through Arkansas, through the heifer project, we can make some contacts that will hopefully be able to keep us updated on how the wells are going.
Nice. Hey, Mom, as you've talked to this heifer project and heifer foundation, what have they thought about the work Daphne's doing?
Oh, the first contact that I made, of course, I just called the 800 number that was there on the website, and the woman just kept saying, and she's 11. She's really just 11, and she's raising this money. That's fantastic. It's phenomenal. They actually sent her a thank you package, some pencils and buttons to hand out to some of her friends and things as a thank you for the effort that she's putting in and things. And they seemed, genuinely kind of excited to meet her. And of course, when you hear an 11-year-old going out and speaking at public events, and she's gone to a couple of different churches and senior centers and things like that, just trying to raise awareness and trying to get people involved. Perfect strangers just come up to you and say, wow, and she's 11, and that seems to be what everybody just keeps coming back to is, how did she get a handle on it? She's 11 and she's figured it out that we have to help each other, and the folks at Heifer have been great to be supportive of that as well.
That's incredible. Daphne, that's what true leadership is all about. It's one of the things we teach in leadership is a leader is a person that can create a vision bigger than the one the person has for themselves. And people love to get involved in things that are bigger than themselves. And it takes a special individual like yourself to realize that you can help in that situation, and also to include your friends and lead in that direction. I think that's just incredible. And Tara, I'm Daily Choices. They made a great comment there. It said, "Good job, Mom. Raise her up and she'll lift others up." And I tell you, if this is not just a heartwarming story, man, I tell you, you must have a heart of stone if this just doesn't warm you in the way that it does me. So now we talked a little bit, Daph, about how people can get involved, and I posted on the side over there, Miss Greenhat at myevent.com, and they can go and they can learn a little bit more about you. They can learn a little bit more about your mission and what's actually going on, and how you're inspiring others and how you're doing things. What do you again told me a little bit earlier, your goal is to have this done by Christmas time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So the people that are involved with us, how can they partner with you? How can we help you hit this goal?
Well, I definitely encourage people to check out my website. There you can actually make donations there for my cause, and you can also track my progress on there.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Hey, and if you're comfortable, Daphne, are you okay if I open up this other seat if someone wants to jump in and ask you a couple questions? Would you be comfortable with that?
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, guys, if you want to jump in, there's an open seat. Daphne said she'd take a few questions, and if you want to speak to a rock star here, you go ahead and jump in, and we'll get you in so you can ask Daphne a question or two. So I got to ask you, as leaders start to do things, they always have the next step in mind. So what's the next step for Daphne Tennant?
Well, starting the first month of next year, we are actually going to be trying to raise enough money to drill one well in a village every month, all year.
Wow, what a goal. So you're talking about $1,000 a month all through 2016.
Well,
Not
actually,
completely.
yeah, just a well is only $300.
I see.
And $300 in 1 month, I think, would be a easier goal than 1,000.
That would be achievable, huh? So what ways are you going to use to get that message out?
Well,
That's where the website kind of comes in. We're hoping that through people following along with the website, and she's also Miss Green Hat's also on Twitter, that we can keep people updated with what's going on and setting those new goals and letting people know when we meet our goals every month. And hopefully, there'll be months that we can meet that goal, twofold or three. By just doing the water, it's almost kind of like taking a step back in a way. We want to make as big an impact as we can for as many people as possible. So here in the beginning, we set the goal for the basic necessities package, where we are going to, where she's decided to do the seed packages and everything. But then to keep it really going and really spread it out over a larger area, we've decided that next year she wants to stick with water and making sure that those fresh water wells are getting out there, as many as we possibly can.
Awesome. Hey, Daph, have they given you the chance to talk at school about how important water is, so that you can talk to other students at school?
Well, no, but I have talked to several individuals, those who are like, hey, I heard about what you're doing. Can you tell me more about it? And they are always like, wow, this is really cool. How can I help? Which is like, it makes me really happy.
Yeah, I bet it does, kiddo. I bet it does. You're becoming a pretty big star in this area. I saw you on the local news the other night. You had a great interview. They actually came to your school and interviewed you. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that your first time on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Uh-huh. So what was the best part about it? If I could ask you, what was the best part about it?
The best part about it was probably the next day, kids coming to school, like coming up to me that don't normally hang out with me, and they saying like, hey, I saw you on TV last night. Like, what was that all about? Oh, like that was probably my favorite part.
That was pretty neat, huh? Hey, Miss Green Hat, a good friend of mine, Kelly Jo, just came on. Kelly Jo, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't see you. So
let me work on that.
She's really, really quiet.
There you go.
I wanted to ask you, Miss Green Hat, because I know you had made the comment earlier about, most 13-year-olds play in the Xbox, and, I get to work with young people from all over. So how do you think people, adults and other young people, can encourage more people to go out there and do something for other people?
What do you think? What was the big turning point for you?
Well, my big turning point was the very day that my friend Brianna Wagner said, "Ed, you know what, Daphne? As long as we keep our eyes ahead of us, I think we can do this." That was probably my huge, okay, we're gonna do this moment.
Nice.
The thing that you have always talked about is the song. Wes.
I want to know the song. I can see it. Sing it for me, girls.
Oh, you don't want me to sing.
So what's the song, Daphne?
It's Do Something by Matthew West. And it was actually my 5th grade teacher's favorite song. And I heard it for the first time last year, and I thought, wow, that could be like our theme song or something. That just sounds cool.
So now every time we're working on Miss Green Hat projects at home, of course, Miss Green Hat's taken over my dining room. We blare that song, and that's like, we all rock out and we do labels on jars, and we make, tags to give out at events and things, and we're jamming to Matthew West Do Something in our dining room, like, where no one can see or hear us.
Nice.
You're dancing like no one's watching, huh?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Well,
we got someone else coming in. I'm going to open a seat up here too.
I was going to say, I want to say thank you, ladies, for sharing your tips to inspire others and for going out there and working hard, for not playing Xbox and actually making a positive difference out there. Appreciate you for it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
Hey, I wanted to ask Tara, from a mom's perspective. I mean, what were your first thoughts, and what are your feelings now that Daphne is so close to achieving these goals?
In the beginning, it seemed like, it was a really great idea, and her dad and I were very supportive of it. But at the same time, we kind of thought it would take her a while. In all honesty, we were thinking next summer we would probably end up going to Arkansas next summer. And then as she started talking to people and it just got bigger and bigger, I laugh now. I load up the car and you just follow Daphne. Daphne is where it's at, and Daphne knows where she's going, and I just drive the car. It has grown exponentially. It has grown very, very quickly. She definitely has a fire about this journey, and it's spreading like crazy. She's touching people, right, left, and center, and you just have to just be ready with your foot on the gas to keep up.
And how is that working?
It's a lot of late nights and a lot of right after school getting ready to go to events, or to be at church a little bit early, to be maybe in a new church that we've never attended before, and those kind of things. And watch her just grow and just step out there and be able to deliver this message to people. You just have to sit back, and a lot of times, the first time she gave a speaking engagement, I went and I was so nervous, and the second time I cried. It's just been a very big emotional roller coaster as a mom to see her passion really come out.
Yeah, the first few minutes were kind of teary there.
Yeah.
Because it's phenomenal, 11 years old to take on something like this, and something that's so local but going to reach globally, Well,
and the little girl that she found on the website, it's Jeanette, and we don't know who she is. She was just on the World Vision website. I said, well, we can sponsor her. That's a great idea. We'll sponsor her. And she said, but Mom, that's not it. It's not about one person. It's about the whole village. I want the whole village to be better than what they are now. And
that's awesome.
In my mind, I'm thinking, well, it takes a village to raise a child. Maybe a child can raise a village. It could happen.
I like that.
So here we are, and we're trying to help as many of these villages as possible.
I love that. That's a bumper sticker there, right?
Absolutely.
Takes a village to raise a child, but maybe a child can raise a village. That's awesome. That's incredible. So let me ask you, Daphne, as you continue to grow and get older here, what do you see yourself doing when you grow up?
To be quite honest, I have no idea. I have no plans of like what I'm going to do, but I think that I've got plenty of time to figure it out.
You've got a little bit of time, that's for sure. Maybe you'll throw your hat into the political world, huh? We could use a leader like you.
Her dad and I have laughed that before it's all said and done, we might be making bricks. We have no idea. It could go in so many directions from here, and she likes this and likes that. So if we just keep following where she's leading, we may end up who knows where.
That's absolutely incredible. So do you ever have a desire to go to Africa?
I have several times wanted to actually go to Ethiopia to like see in first person what it's like, but never really got that far.
Well,
I do think that we'll end up there. I do believe that will happen. I've kind of set an age limit though. As a mom, I keep telling her when she's 15, if she still wants to go when she's 15, we'll start getting shots. But until then, let's help from a distance.
That's
safe,
awesome.
In Mom's safe zone. I know that she doesn't even worry about that, but
that's really cool. Well, listen, Daph, is there anything that you would like to tell the audience out there that's listening to us right now as we wrap up our blab here?
Well, one thing that I always say is that no matter who you are, or you can change the world for the better. It doesn't matter how strong, smart, or old you are, you can make a difference.
That's so true, Daphne. That's absolutely so true. So listen, I really appreciate you coming on as my guest tonight. Maybe we can have you come back on again and talk to you a little bit about, especially when we get around Christmas time, and see once you've hit this goal, because there's no doubt in my mind that you're not only going to hit it, but you're going to surpass it with your ambition and with your positive outlook on things, and your desire to do good for other people. It's just going to be phenomenal. I think that's one of our basic traits that we have, is serving other people out of giving, loving, and doing, and serving, all out of abundance. And you just are the shining example of that, Daphne. And it really humbles me to have someone like you as a guest, and especially at your age, to hear the things that you're saying. So I wish you the best of luck as you continue on this journey. I again want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And everyone, if you'll look back through again, Miss Green Hat up on your right-hand side of your screen is a way that you can contribute to Daphne's mission. You can learn a little bit more about her. So I really encourage you to go check her out because she's an awesome young lady. Tara, thank you so much for coming on tonight, and we'll stay in touch as Daphne continues on this journey. For the rest of you guys on the Blab, we host these events at our show, which is called Goals into Action Steps. You can follow us at hashtag GIAS. I'll post it up there. And if you have ideas of something you would like to share with someone, and you'd like to jump into one of our seats on one of our shows, please, check us out at our website, or, email me, and we'd be happy to carry on a conversation to see if we can't get you involved in one of our Goals into Action Steps shows. Actually, Daphne, we have someone else that wants to jump on. So before we end, I mean, you're so awesome. If you'll just take one more, I'm going to open this seat up and see what we have to say here. So it looks like the boss is on. How you doing, boss?
Yeah, I'm boss. Yeah, I'm good. How's everyone?
Everyone's doing great. What do you think of Miss Daphne here?
What?
What have you thought about Miss Daphne
Sorry,
and what she's doing here?
I feel bored. That's it.
She's a pretty amazing little girl, isn't she?
Yeah, Miss Green. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So
nice to meet you.
Where are you calling in from tonight? Where are you calling in from tonight?
From North Africa, Libya.
Awesome.
Yeah. Where you come from, guys?
We're in West Virginia in the United States.
United States. God bless you. God bless
That's
all.
awesome. Well, how about that, Daphne? You're reaching people around the world. I think this is absolutely incredible. So, again, we're going to wrap our blab up here, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Make sure you check back again and follow us on our shows. And Daphne, I wish you the best of luck, little girl. Love you to pieces. You keep doing great work, okay?
Thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good.
What do you think?